Hey guys, it's Dalton and Zach here at DNZGaming. Today we're going to be talking about power creep of the game and how it's kind of getting out of hand. And while we talk about that, we've got some Ignite replays playing in the background of how broken Ignites themselves are.
Yeah, it's a very prime example of where the game is going. There's the master key beetle lock or thing you can do with the pendulum. It might not actually work when
There's a ruling that hasn't quite been figured out.
But I mean, if this can work and they can cycle through their entire deck in one play and create number 86, which tells your opponent they simply cannot play the game Yu-Gi-Oh! They can't normal or special summon, they can't destroy it. It gets unaffected by spells or traps. It's got 3,000 attacks, so good luck destroying it by battle.
Zach, just thinking about this deck makes me sick to my stomach. And how this is going to be at few formats from now, this is going to be not good anymore.
Right. I mean, that's
how do you progress from here?
That's right. That happens every time. A couple of years ago, Boojins, the deck was broken.
That was a good format.
Boojins were considered broken at the time, and now they can't even compete with a tier 2 deck. They can't compete with Heroes or Teller Knights, which aren't even at the peak of the...
Right.
But yeah, it happens at every couple formats. Things get banned, decks kind of fall off, and then Konami has to come out with something more powerful than the thing that we got banned.
Let's talk about that here for a second. Konami seems to have it through their head that every new set needs to be more powerful than the set before, and I don't agree with that, Zach.
Right, they could take another alternative and make like the next set just as strong as the thing before. Maybe some cards in that thing got banned, so then this set's as strong as that was before those cards got banned, something like that. Just bringing new material into the game is enough, at least for me, to want to play a new deck. I like to play something new. I don't like playing the same deck over and over again. It gets boring.
I think that they're getting way out of hand with how much more powerful they're making things. Like, for example, that the dark... what is that, Black Flare Dragon or something like Red Eyes?
Right.
The Red Eyes Gemini monster that you attack, and after you declare an attack, it inflicts 2,400 damage.
Yeah, so...
But why is that a thing? That's over a fourth of your life points.
You don't have to destroy anything by battle just because it attacked.
Or if it is attacked, it does it too.
Right. So you probably inflicted damage, so it's not a small monster, and you can make... What is that, 3,200?
24.
24. Don't they have their... Fusion one?
Yeah, it's got similar effect.
Yeah, it's got a similar effect. So it's like 3,200 attack. It's probably going to inflict some damage. And regardless of how it attacked or got attacked, it's going to inflict another 24. Now, there's very few burn cards in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! That inflict that much damage in one card. That is 2,400 is ridiculous just for a burn. That's over a fourth of your life points. just burned away, not attacked away. A burn, just burn. One card, burn. Chain Strike
and that monster is still out there.
Right.
And to get rid of it, you probably have to attack it, which...
And the deck has so much recyclability, and if you get rid of it, they're going to make another one. They can bring it up. They get to use... It's just like the Shadal Fusion. They get to use materials from their deck. Not the graveyard, not their hand, not the field, the deck.
That's just... For real, this just makes it... It makes me not want to play the game anymore.
I know. I mean, working on these Ignites and how easily they can put up number 86, they can put up Infinity, they can...
This is actually Zach dueling right now, and he never run the deck before. He just built it, got on here, started doing some AI with it, and you're making Key Beetle and 86 on your almost every duel your first turn.
Yeah, it requires very little skill.
All you need is 2 Pendulum monsters, which are all searchable by Rhoda and Summoner's Art, aren't they?
Yes.
And then you need an Armageddon Knight.
And you pretty much have game at that point.
Yep.
Especially if you're going... If you're going first, you definitely have game. If you're going second, they might be able to disrupt you, but you can still make a slightly less optimal play. You might have to settle for Infinity. God forbid
you settle for an overlay version of Quasar.
Right.
And 101.
Right. You can combine 101 with Infinity. I had to settle for that monster because I couldn't make number 86.
It's just... Infinity itself is... I think it's overpowered as well.
It's not a fair card.
It just sucks up any attack position monster.
I thought 101 was extremely powerful when it first came out. Well, everybody did. Everybody was running one or two of them.
I thought C101 was crazy. I still think C101 is crazy, but Infinity is any attack position monster, isn't it?
I think it's any special summon monster.
Okay.
Something like that. It's got a slight specification, but
just sucks it up, uses it as a material to negate whatever it is you're trying to do during either player's turn.
Yeah, you can negate during either player's turn, and then you can suck up on your turn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's the game is getting out of hand, Zach.
Yeah, it's
look, turn one. His first turn, he's just gonna go ahead and do this again.
You get to go through your entire deck, all your level 4s into your extra deck.
Now, I will say that if the ruling doesn't play out in their favor, which I hope it doesn't, because if Konami lets this slide, then I've given up hope.
Right.
But if the ruling rules not in their favor, I think it'll affect, obviously, the combo, but it's still going to be broken.
Yeah, I think Konami was just looking for a way to make their pendulums work, and they went a little too far with it, because the Cliffworts,
Well, I wouldn't say that they went too far. I would say that whoever found this exploit went too far.
And perhaps Konami didn't think about Master Key Beetle and how they could protect a pendulum, so they can just keep cycling through until they can make stupid monsters like 86 and Infinity.
How would this play out against Dragon Rulers?
Well, Dragon Rulers,
yeah.
If you make them 86 against Dragon Rulers, they can't do anything. They need to be able to at least...
Now, guys, let's think back to Dragon Rulers here. They ruled one format. Everything got banned except the big dragons, and they got limited. And everything associated with them got banned and limited. And then we have this.
This is okay.
This is okay. Red Eyes, that's okay. But Dragon Rulers, I think even the big ones are banned now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Are the baby ones back at 1?
Yeah, no, the babies are unlimited because Konami deemed them useless.
Without the big ones.
Because their effects are for the big ones specifically.
Frustration. And banning the Dragon Rulers, did they do that for Dark Matter?
I think so, because they want, not just because the Dragon Rulers are overpowered, because they wanted to make people use their newer cards to make Dark Matter. I think that was the key deciding factor.
But banning the Dragon Rulers hurt a lot of decks, because a lot of decks like Coons and Mermails and things like that use one of the Dragon Rulers just as a tech card. And it also hurt Light Sworns, which have been around forever. I mean, I'm not mad about it, but this is okay.
It does get rid of that splashable factor that Konami sometimes does and doesn't like.
It's like they banned or limited Moral Talk, but hands are okay.
Yeah, I feel like Moral Talk was more splashable because you only could run 3 of them.
That's true.
Just run 3 of that, 2 or 3 Sanctum, call it good. But anyway, I hope this node hope it stays.
I don't think it's good for the game at all.
I mean,
there are so many broken combos with it.
In this deck, in the Ignite deck, it allows, say if somebody stops my combo, I still have it out. I can instant fusion, make node, and just keep
and overlay again.
Keep doing what I was doing, which was breaking the game.
Now this duel you had a little bit of issues with because he alpha one of your plays and then he MST'd your scale, and you recovered quite nicely from it, I might add.
Yeah, I fell flat on my face a little bit the first turn, but it was just too fast, and I recovered way too quickly. He had the back.
What happened to the good old days when a duel was multiple turns of actual back and forth, strategy, and now it's just I'm gonna kill you fast and hard or not let you play the game.
It's whoever can set up the best lockdown or who can just OTK push for game in one turn.
It's sickening. It really is.
Almost every format's had some sort of OTK deck, but now it's all decks either OTK or do not let your opponent play. If you can't do one of those two things, you're not going to win.
I took my Dino Banish to the tournament this weekend, and I went 2 and 3 with it, but there weren't a whole lot of top tier decks there. Zach, on the other hand, took his Yosenju's, which he's running Macrocosmos, Di-Fi, Necro Valley, Royal Tribute, Secret move.
I was making an attempt to not let my opponent play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!
And
That's the recipe.
What was your final record?
4-2. That made it in the top 8.
Out of how many? We had 18 people there.
Yeah.
So obviously, not letting your opponent play the game is pretty strong.
I did end up losing first round of the top 8 because I lost to another Zenju deck.
It's crazy to me that Konami is letting it get this far out of hand. Like, I think they're going to lose a lot of people.
Oh, they already are. They already are losing a lot of people. And I know even at our local game shop, there's not as many people there anymore.
Right.
When we first started coming there, every week there was 20, 25 people.
Now we have to push our tournament back an hour just to get 18 people there.
Yeah, I think people are getting tired of this game and where it's going.
I'm getting tired of it, and I love the game.
Like, YouTube might be the only thing that's going to hang me on, and eventually I might stop playing in real life and only do it online because it's just not worth it dumping your money into
a new deck every 6 months.
Right. That's about how long the average deck lasts, 6 months, and they have something more powerful. There's a couple. The Cliffworths survived because Konami made them really strong to begin with, and then gave them more support, and then
never touched them.
And then eventually hit them.
They were shoving this pendulum thing down our throat, which obviously they're still trying to do.
Well, I think this is their true first attempt at a pendulum deck. Because Cliffworths, yes, they were pendulum monsters, but they didn't make most use out of the pendulum mechanic. It was kind of just a push for game. The rest of it was tributing and making it so your opponent can't play with breakthrough skill.
I think it was showing you more or less how many different sides this pendulum actually has. This pendulum mechanic is you can either spam for overlays or you can spam for massive tribute monsters. I mean, imagine running a pendulum god deck. Why is that not a thing?
I just think, like I said, this is gonna be like the first true pendulum deck. There's not a whole lot of just generic pendulum things that you can. There's performer pals have pendulums, and then there's
they do all sorts of goofy shit.
Those magicians,
right? The time gazer and stargazer,
and then the normal pendulums. But there's no like good generic ones other than like Odd Eyes, the pendulum dragon.
Right.
So that's why I don't think just every deck can just throw in some pendulums.
Then the Zephyrs are coming out too.
Right.
I don't know how I feel about that deck.
I know. I'm sure you all know Asian Eyes. He talked about. He covered the Zephyrs. He seems to think that they're going to be a thing. I've dueled him a couple times. I get wrecked by them every time. I tried to use it. I just didn't quite understand how it works. I mean, if somebody else can figure it out, that's great for them.
So yeah, that's where we think the game is heading, guys. If you agree with us, let us know. Anything else you want to add?
We'll be doing try to get some more replays up on this channel and get some more discussion videos. But this has been DNZGaming, and we'd love if you join us for some more.
Yeah, see you guys. Sometimes my poop smells like corn.